Cell 92.5 FM.
There have been better days to do a talk show. Welcome to the program. Frangie Carlyon, La Selva. I haven't listened to any of the other shows today. That's a lie. I listened to all of them, but I want to, for the bit, stay with me on the bit. I haven't listened to any of the shows today. Did they mention the Jags at all or no?
No, it's been very upbeat day around here.
Beautiful day out.
Yeah.
Okay.
No epic rants at all.
The tropical storm isn't coming for 2 more days, except for the storm that came yesterday. Glad you're with us on the program today. Best Bet always sponsors us on a Monday. Thanks to my friends, all my friends at the Best Bet. 3 great locations: St. Augustine, Jacksonville here on Monument Road, and in Orange Park. So, JJ, let me just ask you before I get to this Jaguar stuff.
It's Tuesday, by the way.
It is. Oh, my bad. It's Tuesday. It's a Nimnik Tuesday, not a Best Bet Monday. I'm all turned around. I thank both my friends, Best Bet buddies, and my Nimnik buddies as well. That's exactly right. So, thanks to both of them. When Miami wins the national championship, are you going to be particularly obnoxious? Because I'd be disappointed if you weren't. Just so you know that.
I was extremely obnoxious as a 4-0 fan at USF on Saturday, so absolutely. Good. I would be. You wouldn't even want to work with me. That's for damn sure.
Did you have a good time?
I had a great time, man. Absolute blast. Tampa, I haven't been there in like 10 years plus. Great stadium. Great, tailgating. Just easy to get to. Absolutely phenomenal time. The Canes fans took over the stadium, and it was a blast. 50 points for the 3rd straight game, Frank.
How about that? And for a
it's
while,
very
it
fun.
Looked like it was close for a while. No, I think I think Miami's really good. I think you're right about that. So we'll talk all about that. But, hey, look, a lot of things we'll get to during the week and during the show on this Tuesday installment that I thought was Monday. You're exactly right. The Gators win a game. Mississippi State, and I'll tell you, that's a good win because they're good, Mississippi State.
They are really good. Okay. Just look at the bookmakers.
Yeah.
And the chances they're giving them to compete with the Texas Longhorns on Saturday.
It's one thing is winning. Number 2, when you beat a good opponent, I think that's what stands out.
What's the spread, Hays?
It opened at 41 and a half.
No way.
Yeah. Now I think it's been bet down to 38 and a half, but this is an SEC versus SEC game. So that's how bad Mississippi State is.
A 40-point line in a conference game.
Yes.
And by the way, I think I'd lay the points.
If you had to bet it,
I
would take Texas.
So anyway, Florida wins against the Mississippi State team. And by the way, here's what I will tell you: if Florida plays Texas in Georgia, they ain't gonna run on us. Okay?
No.
We held Mississippi State to only 240 rushing.
Yeah.
They've been averaging 90.
Yeah.
You know who leads the nation in rushing? Do you know who leads the nation in rushing? Who leads that right now? Leads of the FBS. Who leads the nation in rushing?
It's funny. I just looked at this, but I'll say Ole Miss.
Do you know? JJ? You know who leads?
No, I have no idea.
UCF.
Oh my God!
340 a game.
They're coming in town.
Yeah. You know who's second in rushing?
I'll say Tennessee.
Yeah. So Mississippi State.
Figure it out.
Mississippi State just ran for 240.
Yeah.
Okay. Here comes UCF leading the nation in rushing, followed by Tennessee, who's second in the nation in rushing.
I saw an interesting question for Gator fans online today. If you had to choose, if you could only win one of your remaining games, who would it be? So I would think it'd probably Tennessee or Florida State. But, I mean, Florida State, you're not ruining their season. It's already
probably
ruined.
Georgia.
Georgia.
I would say Georgia.
But what you were talking about ones that are possible is what you're saying. So I get it. So I hear you. Obviously, we'll talk Jaguars today. We'll talk about some of the college teams maybe later on in the program, and certainly when we get the headlines at the end of the show, Hays will probably toss some of those in. We got a Duval County Scholar Athlete of the Week coming by today. We're looking forward to that. But it's been all Jaguars. I was maybe a surprise yesterday, not just in my 11 years calling the games, Hays, but I was probably as surprised by the outcome and the way it played out. And frankly, the way the first 3 games have played out as I've been in a long time. Certainly it's my biggest surprise of the 11 years calling the games. And one of the biggest surprises, and again, it's only been 3 games. I know that. You got 14 of them left. But I'm very surprised. I mean, I'm serious about this. And I told you this earlier today. Extremely surprised at how badly it has gone these 3 games. You could make the argument they're the worst team in the league. I don't know if I believe that, but the reality is that was as bad a beating as anybody in the league has taken this year. Buffalo scored 47 and called off the Dogs with about 10 minutes left in the game. The other two teams they lost to look like they're not very good. Now, Miami lost its quarterback, but the other two teams have not been competitive in other games. Yeah, it's a tough start for the Jags. I'm seriously about this. I'm very surprised. I was wrong. I'm very surprised it started this way.
Yeah, I was wrong as well because I do think they have talent, but it's clear that this coaching staff is just not getting through to them at all in any way, shape, or form. And you look at the numbers, I mean, they're just grotesque. I mean, the Jaguars are offensively 27th in yards, 28th in sacks allowed, 30th on third down, 27th in the red zone, 30th in time of possession because they can't stay on the field, and 30th in points scored. And, through the first two games, I thought the defense actually was playing pretty well enough for them to be 2-0. And then they decided to join in the fun last night and play abysmal football. So you look at the defensive numbers, 26th in yards allowed, 28th in sacks generated. They're 22nd on third down. They're 28th in points allowed, and the most galling statistic defensively, they're the only team in the NFL without a turnover this season. There have been 111 takeaways so far this season in the NFL. The Jaguars do not have one of those 111. It is just they're just out of answers. It's clear, and it's a shame because I do think they've got talent on this team, but it is being grossly underutilized, and and to give the players some blame here, doesn't look like there's a lot of heart on this team.
I will. What I'm going to come up with today is what I would do. I'm going to go through some ideas of what I would do to fix the problem. I've got some ideas, and some are going to be out of the box.
That's good. We need that.
Yeah, but I've got some ideas of what I think they should do. It's just amazing to me that we missed on them, and I think the coaches, I think the front office, I think the players themselves. Look, there's sometimes you're not going to be very good because you're rebuilding, and you kind of know that. You may not know how it's going to go. Nobody thinks they're going to be bad, but you know when it's not your time. But I've said all along, I'm not going to be a hypocrite and act like I didn't say it. I said they're in their window. This is their moment. This is the time. There's something special about this group. I'm not going to come on and say I didn't say that. I did say it. I believed it. I wasn't faking it. I wasn't being I'm the play-by-play guy, so I'll tell you this. It's what I thought. It's what I thought this was a team that was going to be – I knew the first 4 games would be tough. But I thought, and we're still in that stretch, by the way. And there's a lot of games coming up where there's more hope maybe than some people think. But for the here and now, it's not about the hope. It's about what's happened these first 3 games and how do you fix that. So I got a lot of thoughts. But I'm really surprised. I listened to the station all day today, and I know the other hosts kind of echo that, or we echo them. We're surprised what happened. So what do you do? What do you do to fix it? How do you get it right? We'll certainly go through some of that coming up on the show today. We'll talk some Gators and Knowles later on. Hays is going to have headlines at the end of the show. No Matt Hays today. No SEC. Normally we do SEC on Tuesday. I think today needs to be Jaguars talk. I made the executive decision here that we love having Matt. We'll talk plenty of SEC. Gigantic SEC game coming up this weekend when Alabama plays Georgia. And throughout the course of the week, we'll certainly preview. But I think today's the day to talk Jaguar football, and that's what we will do. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll say hello to our Duval County Scholar Athlete of the Week, that and a whole lot more, and we'll talk Jaguars. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Get a Friday evening full of football fun.
I'm National College football writer Matt Hays.
The big games, the big matchups.
Get you ready for football Saturday.
It's the Bueller Aaron Plumbing College Kickoff, Friday night at 6. Brought to you by Sonny's Barbecue on 1010XL.
This is Hays Carlyon for Kingfish Pest Control. Are you tired of spiders, ants, roaches, or other pests invading your home? Call the winning team at Kingfish Pest Control. Right now, score 20% off your new pest control service when you start during the football season. Also, enter their Swat That Kick Jaguars promotion at Jaguars.com for a chance to win 3 years of free pest defense. Save big and defend your home with Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
At Hodges Mazda, we are proud of our solid reputation in the Jacksonville community. Lauren Brooks here. As your hometown Mazda dealer, our high customer service standards and our huge inventory of new and used cars provide our customers a consistently first-rate car buying experience. Our professional, non-commissioned sales team puts your best interest first without exception. And every vehicle purchased from Hodges Mazda comes with 2 years free maintenance. Visit Hodges Mazda today or shop online at HodgesMazda.com and discover the Hodges Mazda difference.
This is Hays Carlyon from my friend Holt at Harrell & Harrell. There doesn't seem to be enough time in the day to get everything done. Then you get injured in an accident and you don't know what you're going to do. Let Harrell & Harrell make it easy for you. Easy on becoming a client. You can just text or email if you want. Easy on finding a doctor and getting through the process. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harrell & Harrell and make it easy on yourself. Call them at 904-251-1111. That's 251-1111.
If you need an insurance agent, I'll recommend the best guy in town, State Farm agent Craig Dewhurst. Call him at 940-9740. Really good guy, really good agent. Life insurance, homeowners, automotive, you name it, he'll handle it for you. Tell him what you need. He'll assess your whole situation. What kind of coverage do you need? How much coverage? What should your deductible be? What do you make and how does it fit your cost and your rates? You will love dealing with Craig. What a nice guy he is and how he'll help you get the right answers. The best in the business. Craig Dewhurst from State Farm, 940-9740.
Yo, it's your boy E to the T, and our listeners continue to bet and win big with MyBookie. If you haven't bet with MyBookie yet, those folks are still running the double deposit bonus. Just sign up using promo code 1010XL. We have a huge week starting with college and NFL games Thursday night. Get signed up now for Virginia Tech traveling to Miami. The Hurricanes are a 17-point favorite with an over-under of 55.5 points at MyBookie. With the way the Hurricanes have been scoring, covering that spread looks like a no-brainer. And how about Thursday night football divisional matchup? The Cowboys traveling to New York to take on the Giants. The Giants are a 4.5-point home underdog. If you think the Giants will keep it close, take those 4.5 points. For a limited time, MyBookie is bringing back the double deposit bonus. Use promo code 1010XL to claim that bonus on your very first deposit. You heard that right. Double your money with promo code 1010XL before even placing a bet. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Come on, somebody.
If you suffer from constant burning, tingling, or numbness in your hands or feet, it could be a serious condition called neuropathy. I'm Dr. Nathan Riddle, DC with Riddle Wellness in Ponte Vedra. Neuropathy is treatable, and we have seen great results by using state-of-the-art, non-invasive therapies to target damaged nerves, reduce symptoms, and improve nerve function. Call 904-395-5598 to schedule your free consultation today and learn how you can live pain-free. Call 904-395-5598.
You don't have to be a football star to get a signing bonus. The team at Republic Services needs your skills, and they're paying up to $5,000 for you to join the roster. You'll be joining a winner. As an essential business, the Republic Services trucks have not stopped rolling with hourly and weekly pay and better benefits and vacation packages than the rest of the league. Driver trainees, $1,000 sign-on bonus. CDL drivers, $3,000. Diesel mechanics, $5,000 bonus. Join the winning team at Republic Services today. Visit republicservices.com.
Equal opportunity employer.
Oh my goodness.
Fishing is more fun when you catch something.
Yeah!
Listen for the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show with Captain Kevin. Brought to you by Veterans Wholesale Cabinets and Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
Hey, there's a lab-grown diamond and jewelry sales event going on right now at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Monahan's is known for its natural diamonds and gemstones, but we've had so much demand for lab-grown diamonds that now through the end of September, Monahan Jewelers is having a lab-grown diamond and jewelry sales event. We've brought in a huge selection of lab-grown diamonds and jewelry to meet this incredible demand. Lab-grown diamond sales event now through the end of September at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, a dust bunny breeder from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Steve Johnson.
Welcome to the show, Steve.
It's great to be here, Alex.
Yeah, you don't have to answer in the form of a question, Steve.
What is this game show?
See, that's another question.
Are you going to ask me about air conditioners?
Yeah, okay. How about we just send the Bueller guys over and you can annoy them with all your questions? Johnny?
That's right, Steve. Bueller Air and Plumbing can answer all your air conditioning questions, repair options, replacement models, and how to make your AC last longer while saving electricity, making sure you are cool.
Where is the parking lot?
You're killing me, Steve.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
It's time to take it back to the 90s, Jags fans. Be at the bank Sunday, October 6th, as we debut our Prowler throwback jerseys against the Colts and induct legendary head coach Tom Coughlin into the pride of the Jaguars at halftime. Kickoff is set for 1 p.m. You're not going to want to miss this matchup. Lock in your seats now by going to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. And now, this week's Scholar Athlete of the Week. Brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234 on 1010XL.
And we do welcome you back. Our Duval County Scholar Athlete of the Week is in once a week. It's Trevor Bryan from Fletcher High School. Trevor, how are you, man?
Doing good. How you doing?
Good to see you.
Yes, sir.
How are things?
They're all right. They're good.
Good, good. You play football at Fletcher, among other things. Tell us about your football career. What you play? Tell us all about it.
Well, I started out at Pop Warner at Jax Beach.
Okay.
Started on the defensive side of the ball, defensive end and corner. As I moved up in age and weight, I went to the offensive side of the ball, went from offensive line at tackle to slot receiver, and now I'm at running back.
Okay, very good. How's the season going?
It's going good.
I guess you just started, right?
Yep, just started, but 4-1, it's going good.
That's good.
Yeah, absolutely. Trevor, what goes through your mind when you get the handoff? What are you focusing in on?
Big eyes. Big eyes, hit the hole, cover the ball, don't fumble.
Yeah, you look like a running back, doesn't he?
Absolutely.
You look like a running back, and you play for. You head coach pretty good running back in the day.
He's a great running back.
Great running back in the day. I mean, we could tell you all kind of C4 stories about some of the big plays he's had. So, tell me about some of the things you're involved in apart from football. School cleanup, assisting with sporting events, Coach Delaney's Beaches softball camp. Tell us about some of that.
Well, my aunt and our family, we run a softball tournament, Backwards K Jags.
Okay.
I help out with that. That's 4 times a year. Put on clinics and tournaments from Thursday to Sunday. There all week. It's a great, time with the family. Really help people get scouted for college.
Oh, cool.
I like to go out and do the beach cleanup with Fletcher. So we'll just go out on the beach, pick up some trash, make sure the area is clean and good, nothing harmful there. And for my coach's camp, he's our offensive coordinator. It's about the end of summer. He asks few offensive players to come out. We come out, kind of help out the kids, have some fun, water balloon fights, football games, just really make sure they have a good experience.
Very cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Trevor, you've got an outstanding GPA. What are your college plans, and how's that process going?
The plan is to go to FSU, but really any college in Florida that'll take me will be great. I want to do something in the medical field. That's always kind of inspired me to help people. So anything that can help me get there would be great.
Trying to walk on? Trying to play football or no?
If the opportunity presents itself, then yes. I love the sport. I love to play it. But if it's not there, it's not there. But walking on would be something that I'd think about, yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. What's been your favorite win as a team at Fletcher?
Last year versus Nice.
Why?
That was the game where I scored my first actual varsity touchdown. Got a lot of carries, got a lot of receptions. It was a good team win. Nice was fighting back late in the fourth, onside kicks, and we kind of just held together and kept it together, got the win.
All right, what are the goals for this year's team? How good can you guys be? How far can you go?
We can be great. We got a great team. Everyone's young, everyone's healthy. It starts this week, though, with Oakley. If we have to win district game. Mandarin's a huge game, have to win that. We can get those 2 games down. I think we can make a run in the playoffs and go far.
What did track and field, what events did you do, and did that help you at all with your football career?
Oh, yeah. So I did the 100, the 200, the 4x1, and long jump, especially the 100 with just starts and general speed, but long jump really, too. I mean, you got to be explosive to do that, so that really helped out as a running back.
Final thing. You said you want to get in the medical field.
Yep.
What's your vision? 10 years, 15 years? Do you know what? You had to thought about it.
Just be a doctor, someone that can help people any way that is, whether it's, like I said, a doctor or someone who's working on a new medicine or a new treatment, something like that.
So maybe the research side, if not the practical side.
Oh, yeah.
Very cool. All right. Well, Trevor Bryan from Fletcher High School, our Duval County Scholar Athlete of the Week, terrific student, terrific football player. Good luck in the season, man. Sounds like you guys are heading in the right direction.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Thanks for coming by.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Trevor Bryan, the Duval County Scholar Athlete of the Week from Fletcher High School. He's a running back, plays for C4. Who knows a little bit about running backs, I'd say.
Absolutely.
And it's great having Trevor in here, our Duval County Scholar Athlete of the Week. All right, Frank Frangie, Hays Carlyon, J.J. LaSelva. It was a tough loss, 47-10 yesterday to the Buffalo Bills last night. Just a hard loss. It was just one of those games, and I can tell you, it from the minute it started.
Didn't show up.
It didn't. Yeah, it was 34-3 at one point.
Up.
Yeah, and they had moments. There were moments that got away from them, but the Bills won easily. Doug Peterson spoke after the game, and then he met with the media today by way of Zoom and talked about a number of issues. I know you asked him about Shad's support, and he told you he thinks Shad, they have conversations before and after games. He thinks he's very supportive. And then he was asked, what about leadership? Has your team bought in? How do you win with your players, and how do your players win? And he had an interesting comment.
Coaches need to coach and players need to play, and obviously the leadership. If you want to be an elite football team, you know, it's led from within, right? It's led by the players, and just listen. It's the speeches are done. The speeches are over. We don't need any more rah-rah stuff. It's just time to go play football, fix the mistakes, and you know, do everything we can to you know, play our best football this weekend.
The comments of Doug Peterson today. Obviously, down in the dumps yesterday. You can only imagine how that would. And we, as you know, on the charter, you follow the news stories. You know by now some mechanical problems. So everybody got back late. So that those football players, doesn't matter that we did, but the football players who have to get ready for on a short week now got back even later. I think we got back probably. I think we got back. Our group got back to the stadium around 7 a.m. So it was just a delay. But the Jaguars did a great job of managing that mechanical problem. I thought their ops team did a wonderful job of finding a way to manage it. So we got back and everybody's at a good place. But that's a tough loss. So I'm going to give you 2 or 3 thoughts on what I think the problem is, where I think they should be headed. They will be headed. There's a lot. And by the way, and Hays, you wrote a blog about you think maybe the time is up on Doug. I wouldn't fire the coach, and I don't think they're going to. I think it would be hard to ask an interim to carry him for 14 games with London and division games and whatnot. So I'd be very surprised if Doug Peterson isn't the coach as this season moves along. But there's some things that aren't perfect. Trevor's not perfect in many ways. The players aren't perfect in many ways. But they got gutted last night. It was 34-3 in the first half. There were some key plays there. Trevor missing Brian Thomas and it becoming an interception was a gigantic play. It's not all on Trevor, but that was a big miss. You can't miss that throw. And DeMar Hamlin ran it back, and what could have been 20-10 late in the half, and then maybe if you stop them, you score again, it's 2017, all of a sudden it's 34-3, and I think any hope you had was out of it. Hays, to me, every team's got, and I was wrong now. I really thought, and it's not over, by the way. I should probably say this after 13 games, not 3, so who knows where they're headed. The season's not over. You've got 14 games to play for. But here is the one thing that is glaring to me is I have noticed and this is just my opinion. This isn't something somebody's told me. What's wrong with the team? Why? The other team seems more physical than them all 3 times. That, to me, is, listen, Trevor's been good, he's been bad. The receivers, there's good and bad. I think they've got good skill. We've talked about the lines of scrimmage. And Doug made a good point. Short week, you don't just make these wholesale changes. You don't say, I'm going to bench 8 guys and play. It doesn't work. And I understand it doesn't work that way. And I'm not saying bench half your team and play half your team. I'm not such a naive media guy that I think it's easy to do that. But I would really look at some changes. You ready? Number 1, Tank Bigsby would be running back 1 for me. And I like Travis Etienne. I think he's a good player. But if you got to get more physical, I think Tank is a physical downhill runner, and I'd play them both. But he would probably have 14, 15 carries for me. I think your running game is more physical when he's in the game. That is my take. Number 1. Number 2, I would take a long look at young offensive linemen. I think Cooper Hodges is going to be a very physical guy. I would take a long look at him as among the offensive line. would have in place of Brandon Sheriff. I would take a long look. I would take a long look at Walker Little, maybe in place of Cam Robinson. I think he's more. I don't think he's as athletic, as good a pass blocker, but I think both those guys are more physical. I would even consider playing Blake Hance, who's on your practice squad. He's not nearly as athletic, but he's a physical guy. So that is 4 players I would really consider. Tank Bigsby would be my running back. He would be running back 1 for me. I would really consider Cooper Hodges at right guard. I would really consider Walker Little at left tackle. That makes you more physical. Maybe not as athletic, but I think more physical. On the defensive side of the ball, I would play Mason Smith. He would be a starter. I would play Jordan Jefferson, who was inactive, who was a healthy scratch. They're going to make some mistakes. They're going to go the wrong way. I would play Tyler Lacey. That would be, and of course, Eric Armstead and Roy Robertson Harris. I think Devon Hamilton's not playing very well right now. I would go with young. The changes that I would make is young, physical players. I would probably max protect. I would probably target Brian Thomas Jr. 12 times. I would target him as much as Malik Neighbors is being targeted. 6 was the most targets he's had. I would go 12. I would play young players. I would play more physically. I'm going to go back on what I said before. I said spread the field attack, and play fast. I'm not sure they're physical enough to do that on the offensive front. I would go with younger, more physical offensive linemen. I would go with a more downhill running back. I would go with tough physical defensive linemen. And to be very clear, again, I'm not so naive that I think you can just say, okay, these 7 guys are starting and these 7 guys are benched. But I would work toward that. Bigsby, Cooper Hodges, Walker Little, Mason Smith, Jordan Jefferson, that would be my starting point. Somehow, you have to get more physical. I would also see if I could find a 8 to 10 play a game pass rusher. The Ravens just signed Yannick Ngakoue. They did it. They signed him yesterday. So they're out there. I don't think Jan's got a lot left. I don't think he could ever play on running downs. But they went and got him to play 8 plays a game on 3rd and 9. And I think I would probably do something. To me, of all the problems you can look at, and listen, the problems are more than physicality. Yesterday they couldn't run with the Bills receivers. I thought Joe Brady did a wonderful job. The Jags play a lot of man. I probably would play less of that. I'm not an X's and O's guy. I don't act like I'm a football guy. I'm a broadcaster. But Brady did a marvelous job of getting mismatches all day long. Running backs on linebackers, wide receivers covered by safeties. Honestly, all day long. He did a wonderful job of doing that. So I don't know that I'd play as much man if you can't run with them. But that's not the biggest problem. I don't think they're physical enough. I think they're getting pushed around. Trevor Lawrence hasn't played well. On the next segment, I'm going to talk a little bit about Trevor. But I don't think he's had clean pockets. I think he's left some clean pockets where he didn't have to move. But, Hays, I think when your pocket generally isn't clean, you have a tendency to have your eye level come down. You have a tendency to watch the rush, and you have a tendency to bail early because you've become accustomed to not having that clean pocket. Josh Allen had really clean pockets, really clean pockets. So more physical. Tank Bigsby would be RB1 for me, at least for now. And let me be clear, I'm not giving up on Travis Etienne. I think he's a good player. I've been saying that. But I'd have him as my 3rd down back, and I'd have him as my changeup. I would probably go double tight. I would probably attack and get more physical. I think being better in the trenches is the most important thing this football team can improve, and I would make personnel changes to affect that.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're all good suggestions, and even if I don't think it would work, at least it gets their attention. Even if it's just for a week, if you've got some guys that are losing their playing time, you'd like to think that is going to kickstart something in them. I don't know what else Doug Peterson can really do, which is, again, why, I think there's a myriad of reasons why, I think they should move on, but obviously he's not getting through to them and hasn't been now for a long time. So, yeah, I think drastic changes, if ownership is going to keep the same staff, then yeah, I think that staff is left with only one alternative, which is drastic changes. They obviously have to be more physical. It's incredibly disappointing how they've been in the trenches. But to me, it's just it's to me, it's not so much personnel. It's just what happened here. Where did the message get lost? I mean, this was a team in Doug Peterson's first year. He did a magnificent job. He was able to rebuild that trust between the players and the coaching staff after the Urban Meyer fiasco. He was able to get them to a division title and a playoff win, and then started the next year 8-3, and it's like, what happened? I mean, the NFL, things can change fast, but this has been a staggeringly fast regression, and it's just to be 1-8 in your last 9. Obviously the message isn't getting through. And so it's, Doug said today, no more speeches, no more rah-rah. So yeah, I mean, playing time is really the only thing you have left. I mean, that's the last card in the deck. And maybe that gets some veteran players to, maybe one of two things happen that are both positive. Maybe the young players that you put in perform well. So, you keep them in there. If they don't perform well, then you hope that the veteran that got benched takes it as a personal attack and plays better, plays with more fire, which this team just does not possess right now. So I'm looking forward. I actually think it being a short week wouldn't stop me, because nothing's worked anyway. I mean, the routine is garbage regardless. I mean, the results tell you that what you were doing, your normal routine, is insufficient. So I wouldn't let it being a short week stop me. And frankly, you're out of mulligans. You have no choice. You're 0-3. You're already against historically long odds. If you lose Sunday in Houston, the party is basically over at that point. So I think drastic change is about the only thing that Doug Peterson has left.
Yeah, and so we'll see. And again, that seems drastic. I don't know that all 7 happen as a starter, but I sure would like to see him play some. Cooper Hodges came in at the end of the game for a series or two, but then Brandon Sheriff came back in. Mac Jones came in. Mac's a good backup quarterback, but that's not the answer. Trevor's going to be your quarterback. I would probably move Elijah Cooks up. I know Tim Jones made the team ahead of Elijah Cooks because he's a better gunner. Well, at this point, I'm not as worried about gunning. Okay, at this point, I'm worried about you don't have a big physical high point receiver. That's what Elijah Cooks is. I would probably bring him up. He's physical. I would target Brian Thomas. He's physical. I would throw the ball to Christian Kirkmore because he's a physical player. Getting Evan Ingram back would be important. I would run Tank Biggs because he's physical. I would play Cooper Hodges because I think he will be physical. He's a young player. I would play Mason Smith and Jordan Jefferson because they're physical. Hayes, you got to win that line of scrimmage. And I don't think they have won it. I thought Josh Allen, as good as he was last night, had all the time in the world. I thought he had all the time in the world. And I think Trevor bails on some clean pockets, but I think more times than not he doesn't have. And I think that's affected his play.
Yeah, he's completely sped up.
I mean, it's totally sped up.
Yeah, it's carried over from last year. And, yeah, he's not playing well either, obviously. But the franchise has committed $200 million in guaranteed money to him. So he's not going anywhere. And it's up to Shad Khan as this moves forward beyond this regime to find somebody that can harness whatever is there in Trevor Lawrence. But that's where it is. I mean, that is the state of affairs for the Jaguars right now.
Yes. So for me, get more physical, play your more physical players, trust your more physical players, run the ball with Tank Biggs. How do you feel about my Tank comments? Agree or disagree?
I disagree, but I mean, at this point, I'm all for it.
I'll be in the minority on that one.
I will say, Etienne loses his footing, it seems like about every third time he touches the ball, which I can't figure out why they can't, why he can't, figure out his cleats or whatever it is, or whatever the reason is. But if they tracked slips in the NFL, Etienne would be running away with that stat. But I wouldn't go that direction because I don't think a power run game is even remotely possible with this. So I like Bigsby as a player, but I wouldn't go that route because I still don't think, even with the subs, I don't think they're capable of moving anyone. Now, I'm all for seeing new players get a chance. That's fine. But But I think what you're going to find out is that it'll be as bad as it is with the starters. But I'd like to see it. You can't keep doing what you're doing. It's obviously not working.
Right.
And not only is it not working, you're a complete embarrassment.
Yeah.
I mean, you're on the field. You are a complete embarrassment. And there's just way too much talent here for that to be the case. I do not believe this is a bottom 5 talent team. And some Jaguar teams, to your point, have been.
Agreed.
This is not one of them. This is a team with enough talent to win, but they're not getting it done.
We'll talk about the quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, after this. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey everyone, it's football season and we wanted to go to the drawing board to make this year's predictions. Let's compare our 2 blonde all-stars. Most touchdowns, best pricing in the market. Most passing yards, gives the most for your trade. Most receptions, free oil changes with every purchase. Super Bowl champion, wow customer service. This looks like a winning season for everyone. Come see Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville, where you can score big all season long.
Hays Carlyon here. Football is back, and I don't want to clean the house. I want to watch football, so I called Molly Maid. Molly Maid cleaned my house, and wow, exceptional results. They've been voted Bold City Best Cleaning Service 3 years in a row. Visit mollymaid.com. That's mollymaid.com.
Injured in an accident? Have mounting medical bills? Can't work? Don't worry. Zach's got your back. I'm Zach Von Rowan of Von Rowan Law. I will fight for the compensation that you deserve. Set up your free consultation at zachsgotyourback.com.
Football fans, huddle up. Make Best Bet St. Augustine your game day headquarters. We're serving up the ultimate viewing experience with all the big games on our massive screens, mouth-watering food specials till 2 a.m., drink deals to keep your spirits high, and we're open till 4 in the morning for post-game celebrations. Ante up for your team and score big at Best Bet St. Augustine this football season. For the play-by-play on our game day specials, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com. Best Bet St. Augustine, where every fan leaves a champion.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. When it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Think you can't afford to buy a home? Think again. Lennar offers a range of new homes at affordable prices with a simple and hassle-free buying experience. Every home comes with our Everything's Included package, which means you get premium features and upgrades at no extra cost. For a limited time, enjoy rates as low as 3.99% and no closing costs on select homes when you finance through Lennar Mortgage. Call us at 904-917-2372 to find your dream home today. Lennar, the home for you.
When storms start to crop up in the Atlantic or Gulf this time of year, having a solid plan to handle anything that sweeps through the first coast is very important. That's where American Electrical comes in. Ensure your home's safety and comfort with an American Electrical home generator. As the area's leading home generator dealer and installer, American Electrical can offer you easy installation, simple maintenance, and peace of mind. Schedule an assessment by simply calling the team at American Electrical. They'll walk you through the best generator for your home or business. Log on, american-electrical.com.
Spend lunchtime with the ladies.
Hey, where's your sense of adventure?
They don't cook, but they serve up spicy sports talk.
Sure, it's on the menu.
Helmets and heels.
That is a meal.
Switched on by First Coast Lighting and Fans on 1010XL.
Right now, they're on their way to ruin your day. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. And if you're not prepared, you will suffer. Yes, it's that time of the year. Heat and humidity are attacking North Florida. But help is at hand. Call Mike Merritt's Heating and Air Conditioning. Mike Merritt has a license to chill and lets you maintain your comfort zone at a bargain price. How? Mike Merritt stands ready to help, routine or emergencies. And Mike Merritt knows emergencies can happen at any time. So with Mike, there's never any overtime charges. And Mike's team works without commissions. Merritt will never try to sell you parts you don't need. You can't trust just anyone with a truck. Call Mike Merritt, the company North Florida has trusted for 35 years. Call today. License number CAC 050384.
This is Hays Carlyon for Skylife Elite. Have you ever thought about aircraft ownership as another potential revenue stream and as a tool for tax savings? Put your tax money to work for you while enjoying the benefits of private personal travel. Skylife Elite has over a decade of experience in business aviation and can guide you through the process with their expert staff. Call my friends over at Skylife Elite at 490-9332 or find them at flyskylife.com to get the rundown on everything owning an airplane can do for you.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. Hurricanes happen in Florida. That's not news. But what happens even more often than hurricanes are home break-ins. And if security is important to you, you might want to look into hurricane-rated impact windows.
What you may not know is that hurricane-rated impact windows not only help protect your home in case of a hurricane, but they also offer another level of security for your home.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube that show people trying to break through an impact window? A thief is way too lazy to spend his energy trying to break through one of our impact windows. That's why he doesn't have a real job like you. He'd rather break your non-impact window while you're at work. Window World has high-quality, very affordable hurricane-rated impact windows to help protect your home from hurricanes and from lazy thieves.
Call us today at 904-443-7001. Get a free estimate and see for yourself. You save energy, get more security, and the windows add value to your home. With all Window World windows, you get the best guarantee in the window replacement business.
Window World,
simply the best for less.
And thank you for your business.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
After an abysmal performance on primetime in Buffalo, quarterback Trevor Lawrence did not have much positive to bring to the media other than holding himself, his teammates, and his coaches accountable for their pathetic start to the season. Here's Lawrence on the honest truth of the temperature inside the building.
You know, it's just one of those times where we don't have any momentum. You know, it seems like everyone takes their turn on making a bad play at the wrong time, including myself. It seems really difficult to go forward. Can't find that rhythm right now, and we all have our share in it, and it takes us making the plays out there. Players play, coaches coach, and when we step on the field, we got to make the plays.
I'm Max Fink here with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Play fake. Trevor drops. Look. Fires downfield. That ball is intercepted by DeMar Hamlin. He missed him. He had him open. Hamlin runs it back to the 45 of Jacksonville to the 40-yard line. That is a miss by the quarterback. Brian Thomas Jr. was wide open. The ball sailed over his head and into the arms of DeMar Hamlin, who ran it back into Jaguars territory to the 41-yard line.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
Yeah, that was the play we talked about earlier, and he had him open, Hayes. He had Brian Thomas Jr. open. So here's my thoughts on Trevor. Trevor's 24 years old. His numbers are not good. Since 2021, giveaways, that's 59. That's most in the NFL. His 38 interceptions are the third most in the NFL. His 33 fumbles are the second most in the NFL. His 21 lost fumbles are the most in the NFL. He's turned the ball over. He has not had the numbers you would hope he would have. I think a lot, and at times he hadn't played well. Again, that was a miss to Brian Thomas when he had a clean pocket. Now, I thought he danced around a little bit in the pocket. Part of that's because he wasn't accustomed to having clean pockets. I think that's one of the reasons the eye level comes down is because the pockets haven't been as clean. But that was a clear miss, and he's had some other misses. But I am going to give you some perspective, and I want people to listen to this. I'm not making excuses. I'm giving you facts. These aren't excuses; they are facts. Trevor's got to play better, and I think the biggest, most important thing with this football team is getting more physical. Getting more physical will help that. But let me put some things in perspective. Sam Darnold was 1-1. Being 1-1 or 1-2 as a quarterback is the hardest thing in sports. Being the first overall pick in the NFL draft as a quarterback or the second overall pick of the NFL draft as a quarterback or the like is the hardest thing in sports. Number one, it's probably the hardest position to play in sports. Number two, you're drafted that high. In today's day and age, you're expected to play right away. And number three, it's a hard game to play right away if you haven't done it before. Sam Darnold was 1-1. He's 27 years old. He's on his fourth team. Maybe he's finally found himself. Baker Mayfield was 1-1. He's 29 years old. He's on his fourth team. Maybe he's started to find himself. Jameis Winston was 1-1. He's 30 years old. He's on his third team and a backup. Marcus Mariota was 1-2. He's 30 years old. He's on his fifth team as a backup. Mitch Trubisky's 30 years old. He was 1-2. He's on his fourth team as a backup. Zach Wilson is 25 years old. Where's he even now? Is he Denver?
Yeah.
He's a backup. Bryce Young is 1-1, just got benched. Darnold, Mayfield, Winston, Mariota, Trubisky, Zach Wilson, Bryce Young, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 7 guys that were quarterbacks in the last 8 to 10 years that were picked first overall or second overall, none of whom are thriving on the team that drafted them. None of them. Now, that's not to say you can't do it. Patrick Mahomes was picked 10 overall. He's doing pretty well. Josh Allen, same thing, doing pretty well. But if these guys picked 1-1 or 1-2, Hays, it's hard. And I still think Trevor can get there, but it's taking longer than most of us thought it would. I'm going to attach those. And again, those aren't excuses. Those are facts, but the numbers I gave you are real. I didn't make those up. Darnold, Mayfield, Winston, 4 teams, 3 teams, 5 teams, 4 teams. Those are real numbers. Those are real number of teams those guys have all played on, despite being picked by another team. What exacerbates that is, if you're not protecting, it's even harder. Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen are fantastic players. They also have been protected. I think the line's got to play better. I think Trevor Lawrence, unlike these guys, Tua Tagovailoa is a 5th overall pick. He's hurt, and who knows where his career is headed. Hey, the point is it's hard to be in the first overall pick in the NFL draft or the second as a quarterback, and these 7 guys are proof of that.
Without a doubt, and obviously we know Trevor's rookie year, the degree of difficulty was even greater because of the Urban Meyer hire. I think Doug Peterson has done some good things for Trevor. I think he's taught him what it looks like to be a professional, how to prepare. I think he's gotten him into a better mind state as Trevor has grown. But I think now the reason that it's failing is I don't put it on Trevor Lawrence. He's not playing well, but I think Trevor Lawrence has the capability of being a top 10 starting quarterback in this league. I don't know that him getting to be elite is still on the table. Maybe I think it'll depend on who is coaching him next. But I certainly believe Trevor Lawrence is more top 10 quarterback than a bottom 10 quarterback, which is what the numbers tell you. Where I think it is that it's just a stagnant, uncreative offense. I mean, it just schematically what the Jaguars do, it's just not up to par with the other offense that we're seeing that are high up in the rankings offensively when you look at the numbers. And, I think whenever this ends, Doug Peterson and Press Taylor, no one is putting them in charge of running an offense next year. I mean, you're not going to look up and Doug Peterson is the offensive coordinator in the NFL. Press Taylor will be lucky to have a job. And so, that's what you've put in charge of Trevor Lawrence. And I just think unfortunately, it had an expiration date, and that expiration date started last year and is now gone well over. I mean, again, you look back at some of the games they played at the end of last year. I mean, the Tampa Bay game to lose 30-12, the Ravens game 23-7, and then to lose in the finale to the Titans 28-20. I mean, I thought that those problems would be self-contained to that season, but they're not. A lot is bled over, and it's the same scheme. I mean, Doug Peterson was asked today on the Zoom, is this basically the same offense that, you were running in 2022, or have you changed things, to try and explain it? And Doug was like, no, this is the same base stuff. And the league is evolving offensively, and the Jaguars are not evolving with it. And I think it's really starting to show up because they're easy to figure out.
Where do the Jags go from here? We'll take a break. We'll keep it on the Jags one more segment. Then Hays will have some headlines. We'll get the college football, other things in the NFL as well. But let's talk Jaguars one more segment. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
He is our quarterback savant, and he'll take you inside his mind.
So you can learn more about the science of quarterbacking.
Denny Thompson is the quarterback whisperer. Friday mornings on The Drill. Brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security and George Moore Chevrolet. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
This is Hays Carlyon for Kingfish Pest Control. Are you tired of spiders, ants, roaches, or other pests invading your home? Call the winning team at Kingfish Pest Control. Right now, score 20% off your new pest control service when you start during the football season. Also, enter their Swat That Kick Jaguars promotion at jaguars.com/sweepstakes for a chance to win 3 years of free pest defense. Save big and defend your home with Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com, WM.com, and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's The Mangler. Go Team WM, and as always, Duval!
Homeowners, listen up. The Fed has taken action, lowering rates for the first time in years, and Loan Pronto has followed suit by lowering mortgage rates big time. Prosser here. Loan Pronto just locked in a homeowner at 4.59% APR, the lowest in 2 years. Whether you got your loan last month or last year, it's time to call Loan Pronto and dump that high-rate loan. You can lock in a lower rate fast with virtually no paperwork and usually no appraisal. There's no limit on how many times you can refi, so get started. Even if you're in process with another lender, give Loan Pronto a call. If you act now, you can even skip your next 2 house payments. Purchase loans available as well, so call now. Get your rate quote in minutes with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees like those other guys. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. That's 904-999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781 on approved credit, MLSconsumeraccess.org.
If you need an insurance agent, I'll recommend the best guy in town, State Farm agent Craig Dewhurst. Call him at 940-9740. Really good guy, really good agent. Life insurance, homeowners, automotive, you name it, he'll handle it for you. Tell him what you need. He'll assess your whole situation. What kind of coverage do you need? How much coverage? What should your deductible be? What do you make and how does it fit your cost and your rates? You will love dealing with Craig. What a nice guy he is and how he'll help you get the right answers. The best in the business. Craig Dewhurst from State Farm, 940-9740.
When all you have is a hammer, everything is a nail. I'm Dr. George Bari, and like me, I know you have been bombarded with PRP and stem cell treatments from companies that promise the world and charge prices to match. Or the surgeon that convinced you the only way to treat your injuries through surgery. At Bari Orthopedics, we offer the best PRP treatment on the market with prices that won't cost you an arm and a leg. We also have the expertise to treat your injury surgically if that is what it entails. We can discuss all surgical and non-surgical options with you and make sure you get the best treatment available. Come see me, Dr. George Bari at Bari Orthopedics.
Tony Baselli gets up early Monday morning to share a big football breakfast with you.
Some French toast and sausage patties.
Hall of Fame Mondays, 7:20 with Dan and Jeff on The Drill. Brought to you by Heritage Roofing of North Florida on 1010XL.
This is Hays Carlyon for Harold and Harold. I was at lunch with my good friend Holt, and he was telling me that sometimes a lawyer can get more from a case than their own client. I was surprised to hear this, but Holt said that doesn't happen with Harold and Harold. They'll never take a fee that is greater than their own client. When they say they treat their clients as a person and not a file, they mean it. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harold and Harold at 904-251-1111. That's 904-251-1111.
They're out to test our reputation as the best plumber in Jax, so we gotta play like the experts we are. Now, who are we? Now, that's what a winner plumber sounds like.
Customers always win with Roland Reese Plumbing at plumberinjacks.com.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hacker here, and the celebration continues on my countdown to 100 pounds. I'm now at 93.5 pounds with only 6.5 pounds to go. That will be a 100-pound swing in just over 6 months. Only a couple of more weeks to go, and I feel awesome. Life-changing and life-saving is what I like to say. Maybe you don't have 100 pounds to lose. Maybe it's 25 like Mike Dempsey or 40 like Matt Hays. Whatever your number is, bring it to Awaken 180 and ask them how fast you'll reach it. But Hacker, I've tried other programs and diets before. Why will Awaken 180 work? That's simple. Because if I can do it, anyone can do it. Remember, when I hit that 100-pound mark, we're going to celebrate. I'll keep you updated every week as I get closer. And you can even join in on the celebration. Pick up the phone and make your own 180. Call 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey, it's Mike Dempsey, and you know how I feel about Pella Windows and Doors. Great design, strongest warranties, and the highest quality product. I even chose Pella Windows for my own home. And whether you're a homeowner replacing windows or building a new home or a trade professional working with clients, I know the design experts at Pella will help your project run smoothly and look great. Visit PellaJacks.com or the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway at Pella Windows and Doors.
If you're looking for the best in indoor air quality, I've got the experts to call. Florida Home AC, the official AC provider of the Jaguars, specializing in the best air quality for your home or work with the Remy Halo. Instead of waiting for pollutants to travel through the ductwork to be neutralized, the Halo cell releases friendly oxidizers every time your fan blows air, helping those in your home that suffer from allergies and other respiratory issues. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC and start enjoying cool comfort and clean air.
I'm Max Fink here with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. The Gators escaped Starksville on Saturday with a much-needed 45-28 win. As the offense finally began to click, the defense still struggled, giving up 480 yards of offense to a questionable Mississippi State team. Here's Billy Napier on the defense after Saturday's win.
Defensively, times we did a lot of good things. I thought we did a good job getting off the field on third down in the first half, but there's 3 or 4 or 5 possessions there that where we disappear. We were a little more consistent across the board today, but we know that there's going to be more consistency required. The rush and the coverage got to work together. Overall, the rush defense has got to get shored up, and we have to eliminate some of these penalties that we had.
The Gators head into the bye week now, but begin a difficult back half schedule when they return to the gridiron next weekend against UCF. It's 85 degrees at 5:01. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on the Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
Man, I love my friends from the Nimnick family dealership. Billy Nimnick, Lee Nimnick, that great Nimnick family. 2 great locations. Nimnick Chevrolet is on Cassidy Park. Nimnick Buick GMC is on Phillips Highway. I will tell you, I bought my first car there in 1982. First time I ever bought a car by myself. Billy Nimnick Jr., God rest his soul, taught me how to buy a car. I've been doing it ever since. You want people you can trust, really trust. You can trust my friends at Nimnick, and I mean that very sincerely. Proud to be their sponsor. A Nimnick family of dealerships Tuesdays, as always, here on the program. Frangie and Carlyon, JJ LaSelva. So where now? They're going to play the season. You got 14 more games. They're going to play them.
They are.
They're playing 14 more games. And the good thing is there's 14 more games. The bad thing might be if you don't get any better, there's 14 more games. It's unlikely you're going to make the playoffs at 0-3. We all know the percentages. It's also unlikely you're going to make the playoffs or win very many more games if you don't start playing better. I made my recommendation in the first part of the program. I would get more physical. I would make some position changes by bringing in the more physical of the players. I would give young physical players a chance to make the lines of scrimmage better and to win in the trenches, which I don't think the Jags are doing. In fact, I think the Jags are doing that less than a lot of the good teams. If you look at the great teams in Jaguars history, the best teams they've had, those early 90s teams were really physical at the line of scrimmage, man. That was Baselli and Leon and all those guys. The best teams in team history. If you look at the 07 teams where they were decent, or the 07 team in that stretch, that was Henderson and Stroud, man. They didn't lose, and that was Meester and those guys on offense. So the lines of scrimmage, they might not have had great skill, but those lines of scrimmage were good. The 17 team, the offensive line was okay. The defensive line was off the chart good. Now, off the chart good, they were physical. This team has to play better at the line of scrimmage, and so I thought, and I think that's important. I went through a little bit about Trevor. Where do we go from here, Hays? Again, they're going to play. What are your expectations? You'd like to see them change the offense a little bit, the scheme of it a little? What would you like to see them do?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's more of a leadership issue, a coaching issue than
a scheme issue.
Well, yeah, I mean, to me, it would be, ideally, I would make Mike McCoy the interim coach and go from there, and just hope that he can find something with Trevor to get going. Because like I said, I don't think the connection between Doug Peterson and Press Taylor to Trevor Lawrence, it's just not there. It's just whatever reason, it's not the message isn't getting through to Trevor Lawrence. So I think the easiest way to try to fix it would be to fire Peterson and Press Taylor, promote Mike McCoy to interim coach. I would listen to Heath Farwell as the interim, and let Mike McCoy just handle being the offensive coordinator. I think Heath Farwell's done a nice job there. So, and that's less disruptive. I would listen to that. But Mike McCoy has been a head coach in this league for 4 years, from 2013 through 2016 with the then San Diego Chargers. And so, at 52 years old, I think he's got the right temperament. He's got the right experience. And honestly, they probably need to simplify things anyway. So even if it's, Mike McCoy now having to kind of take over the offense, obviously you're not going to install new playbooks and things like that. It's basically going to be like, okay, Trevor, give me the 4 great passing concepts out of this that you like. Give me the 4 great, that you feel are our best run concepts. And then let's try to build something around that. And you're going to have simplistic game plans, but look, it can't get worse. So I think that would be the way I would try to spark it. Again, I think, knowing ownership, I think you're going to see that come much later in the season. But by that point, it's going to be obviously too late. It's probably too late now. You're 0-3. You haven't even played a divisional game yet, and normally 4-2 is historically best case scenario that this team does in division. So that's 2 more losses. That gets you to 5. You then still have games against the NFC North. So you're talking Minnesota, Detroit, Green Bay in there. You still have a game against the Jets. So, if I was looking to do something, if I was Shad Khan, it would be more who is talking to the players more than it would be the players. I just think that you kind of are what you are from a roster standpoint. And again, I think there's talent here. I just think for whatever reason, it's just Peterson's message is not resonating anymore with them.
For me, Hays, that would be a hard lift for a number of reasons. Number one, head coach is hard. You've got to manage the whole week. When do you hit? When do you not hit? You manage nutrition and travel. You've got to manage 2 games in London. You've got to manage Vegas and division games. I think that's a heavy lift for an interim guy. I don't know enough about Mike McCoy to know. I know he was a head coach, but I don't know enough about him to know how he would handle that kind of stuff. For me, that would be a heavy lift. Usually, my experience has been when you go to the interim, you've punted on the season. Now, maybe they should punt on the season, but I think it'd be too early for me to punt on the season and go to an interim. So I hear you, but I probably wouldn't do that. I would stay with the coaches. I told you what I would do. I'd go to the more physical guys. Where I do have a little bit of hope is as bad as it looks like the first 2 teams the Jaguars played are, they've played quarterbacks who've played a lot of football. Tua, Deshaun Watson, Josh Allen, regardless of what Deshaun Watson might be now, between those guys, they have 6 playoff wins. They have 6 Pro Bowls. The next 5 guys you play have 1 playoff win and 1 Pro Bowl, and that's C.J. Stroud both times. So at least the next handful of teams you play, it's C.J. Stroud, who's second year in the league. It's Anthony Richardson, who hasn't played very much football. it's either Brissett or Drake May. My guess is maybe Drake May by then. It's Caleb Williams who just got to the league. Drake May just got to the league. Malik Willis has played very little football. At least the next 5 guys you got to play the games. At least the next 5 guys you play don't have the level of football, Pro Bowls, playoffs behind them that the 3 guys you did play. Now, right after that, you get back to playing the quarterbacks who've played a lot of football. So at least if you're trying to hold out hope at all, at least maybe that changes a little.
I would also imagine Jordan Love would be back by then.
And that's
I don't know, but they were talking about him coming back even this week.
And he's got a playoff win. You're right.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah, so you're right. It might not be a good call. It might not be Malik Willis, by the way, who's played very well for them, as a matter of fact. So we'll see what winds up happening. The hope is somehow they find a way to play better. And again, whether it's to Hays' point, connection between staff and player, whether it's to my point, just find a way to be more physical, even if that means personnel changes where you play the more physical guy, even if he doesn't have as much experience, even if he's not quite as athletic. Play the physical guy. That's what I'm really hoping they will do. So we'll see what winds up happening. I will say this. It's a strange feeling that they're 3 games in and this is where we are. It's just a strange.
Yeah. It's astonishing.
Yeah. I thought the Gators would be better than they are, but I'm not shocked they're 2-2.
Right.
I mean, they're not. I'm very surprised Florida State isn't better, but there's so many changes in the portal era that in retrospect, it's a bunch of guys we didn't know, so it really is. The Gators, you're not surprised by. Georgia being as good as they are is not a surprise. Miami, I thought they'd be good. I'm not the University of Miami, maybe not this good, but I thought they'd be good. The Jags, of the teams we talk about, this is the one that's the most perplexing. And again, even this week, I didn't have them winning against Buffalo, but even as they went into this game, I said, okay, they've played. It's only been 2 games, and it's come down to a play at the end of the game both times. At no point I said, no one's rolled this team. Well, that was the ultimate rolling. That's about it. You can't get rolled any more than they got last night. So I think more than anything else, I'm perplexed by it. I'll be interested to see where it goes. They're not going to move on from Doug Peterson anytime soon. And I don't think they're moving on from Trent Baalke anytime soon. And I don't know what Doug's going to do in terms of coaching the team. I don't sense that he's going to change anything in terms of scheme. He may change how he calls the plays or what plays they call. They may change communication. There's not a lot. The personnel changes I'm suggesting are pretty drastic. Just like I don't think they're going to follow your recommendation. I don't think they're going to follow my recommendation either. I think we both have kind of drastic recommendations. I don't think they're going to go with either one of those. But I am very intrigued with what happens with this football team as they go into Week 4 against the Houston Texans. The good is, if miraculously they turn it around, I'm not suggesting I think they will, but I mean the good is, if miraculously they turn it around and win a couple division games, well, you're 2-0 in the division. Now, it's a steep climb after you start 0-3, but mathematically, you can look up now in 12 days, and they're 2-0 they're 2-0 in the division and 2-3 overall. So, you know me, I'm a glasses half full guy, whether I think it's going to happen or not. Interesting start for the Jaguars. Let's take a break. When we come back, Hays has some headlines coming up. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
Get inside the mind of Jags coach Doug Peterson.
I'd be lying if I said I didn't have butterflies.
Coach Speaks. Fridays at 4:05 on the Frangie Show.
And that's why I'm excited.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Custom windows and doors on 1010XL.
Hays Carlyon here. Football is back, so I want to watch it, not clean the house. So I called Molly Maid. Molly Maid cleaned my house, and wow, exceptional results. They've been voted Bold City Best Cleaning Service 3 years in a row. Visit mollymaid.com. That's mollymaid.com.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. While we've earned the reputation as North Florida and South Georgia's preeminent official Rolex jeweler, it's important to point out that at Underwoods we carry other watches too. We start with Seiko, the most reliable, serviceable watch made for under $500. And they've started making jeweled, self-winding watches again and sports watches you'd have to see to believe. Next, we have Tavan, the Swiss-made ladies and men's and dress and sport watches, and they start at $575. Another name we carry is Tudor, inspired by Rolex with the same founder and owner, the Hans Wilsdorf Foundation. And their sport watches and chronographs are the rage in Swiss timekeeping, with new in-house watch movements and exciting new model introductions every year. So if you're interested in watches, we have what you want at Underwood's. And all of our watches carry a 5-year warranty. At Underwood's in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
When you're a little kid on the playground, they tell you don't hit back. Well, the courtroom isn't a playground. And if you've suffered an injury or death in your family, I'm here to tell you it's okay to hit back and fight to make them pay. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we understand all the pain and emotion that comes with being wrong. And we've dedicated our lives to making things right for people like you. So if you get hit back with Hastings Injury Law. Offices, Jacksonville.
Chelsea here, ready to upgrade your home and save big? Now's the perfect time with Renewal by Anderson. For a limited time, it's buy one, get one 40% off on all windows and doors. That's right, buy one, get one 40% off plus flexible financing options to fit your budget. Our custom-built energy-efficient windows and doors are made with Vibrex, 2 times stronger than vinyl, giving you the durability you need and the savings you want. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to book your free consultation today. Don't wait, this offer won't last. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613. Proud partner of the Florida Gators.
Have a group trip or company function soon? Mark Watson here with Hardball Creative. Get busy ordering the t-shirts and other swag you'll need. It's easy with Hardball.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Hey, Hicken here. Are you tired of having your carpets professionally cleaned only to have them looking dingy again? Zero Res can help. I'll tell you what, they have the technology. Zero Res uses its patented ZR water that cleans beautifully without using any soaps, detergents, or shampoos. That means zero residue left behind. And guess what? Zero Res falling back in time for September. 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $129, and we'll clean a 4th room for free. That's right. The 4th room is on me. Zero Res, man. Spell it forward. Zero Res, spell it backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Stay in touch with the stars of Coral Gables.
From South Beach to Jax Beach. Stay on A1A for the latest from Miami on the Hurricane Report.
Brought to you by Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
On 1010XL.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband-wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at Goosehead.com.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, a dust bunny breeder from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Steve Johnson.
Welcome to the show, Steve.
It's great to be here, Alex? Yeah, you don't have to answer in the form of a question, Steve. What is this game show? See, that's another question. Are you going to ask me about air conditioners?
Yeah, okay. How about we just send the Bueller guys over and you can annoy them with all your questions? Johnny?
That's right, Steve. Bueller Air and Plumbing can answer all your air conditioning questions. Repair options, replacement models, and how to make your AC last longer while saving electricity. Making sure you are cool.
Where is the parking lot?
You're killing me, Steve.
Stay alert with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
I'm with Greg Mackey from Cycles of Jacksonville, and even though you're the place to go for fun, you're also a place to go for generators. People need generators.
And the Honda lineup is amazing. They make the super quiet model, inverter technology, the electricity super clean. You can have conversations with them. You can back up your whole house with a Honda generator. So we have them in stock, and we're ready to ride.
So you have generators big enough that could run everything in the house?
Absolutely.
Check it out, Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic near Regency for generators.
Hey, it's Tony from Tony D's Pizza. If you love our pizza and pasta dishes, let us cater an event for you. Family function or office parties, we can deliver you an amazing Italian meal. Remember, it's not just pizza at Tony D's. Bay Meadows in $2.95.
David Garrard here. Playing in the NFL can put a lot of wear and tear on your body, especially your knees. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has kept me mobile and ready to tackle every day.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round.
It's Hays' Headlines, presented by Harrell & Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hays Carlyon.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show. Frank Frangie, JJ LaSilva are here. I am Hays Carlyon. Thank you to our friends at Harrell & Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're injured, that is who you need to put your trust into. 251-1111. Frank, Doug Peterson met with reporters today on Zoom to give a Jaguars injury update, among other things. And it was a pretty good picture, I would say. He said Evan Ingram is getting close, probably dicey for Sunday, but getting closer. Foye Oluokun with the foot week to week, that wasn't good. But does expect to have Darnell Savage back at nickel, and Jarian Jones, Anton Harrison, and Gabe Davis all dinged up last night, but seem like they're going to be on track to play.
Yeah, of all those, the thing that hurt them the most yesterday was all the defensive backs. They were already without Campbell. They found out before the game or sometime during the week they weren't going to have Savage. They lost Jarian Jones during the game against a great passing quarterback. And I think that really showed up. Boy, young defensive backs did the best they could, but they were getting beat left and right. So getting Savage and Jones back would be huge. Well, I'll be glad when Tyson Campbell's back, by the way. That was a big one. I'll be glad when Dewey's back. If you count Dewey, that's 4 defensive backs of significance. 4 that they played without in that game, so or lost during the game. So, no, that is good news. Yeah, you need Oluokun back. He's one of your defensive leaders, so hopefully he's not down for long.
Absolutely. Let's get to college football. The Gators get a win at Mississippi State. Boy, both quarterbacks looked fantastic.
Those quarterbacks are good. I will say this. The quarterbacks played well, both Mertz and Lagway. Mississippi State's terrible. One of the worst teams we've seen in that league in a long time. They still rushed for 240 yards against Florida's poorest defense. The other thing that stood out to me is if there's one thing I said this to you before, that bugs me about Billy Napier's tenure. Old school guy played the veteran guy because the young guy hasn't earned his stripe. I saw Aiden Mizell. That's all I need to see from Aiden Mizell. I know the play was called back on an awful call, by the way.
Yeah, it really was.
But you got Trey Wilson and Aiden Mizell and Jaden Baugh. Play those guys. I honest to God, I get the sense that if Billy had been at Florida, Billy had been the head coach of Florida in the mid-'90s, Ike and Riedel would have had to wait their turn.
Right.
If you have great freshmen play, I wish he did it more often.
Yeah, no doubt. Florida State also had a good weekend. They were able to get their first win of the season, edging out Cal.
I tell you, good for them for finding a way to win that game. I'm not sure how they won. Cal had 5 trips in the red zone, and give the FSU credit. They stiffened every time. Cal had 5 trips in the red zone, and the result of those 5 trips were 2 field goals. They missed 2 field goals and turned it over on downs. 5 trips in the red zone, 5 turned into 6 points.
I watched the game. It was a tough watch for certain. DJ Uiagalelei did throw a beautiful touchdown pass in the second half there, but that Florida State offense continues to struggle, just averaging 15 points a game. So we'll see. Florida State travels to SMU this Saturday. Sticking with college football, how about the Tennessee Volunteers? Rocky Top goes into Norman and just guts the Sooners.
Might have the best team in the country.
They might.
They might be the best team in the country. They're. If you ask me who I think might be the best team in the country, Georgia would be on my conversation list. Texas would be on the conversation list. Ohio State and Tennessee would be the 4th one. I think about Miami. I think about some others that I'm going to keep an eye on. But I would give you the first 4 without thinking twice, and Tennessee would be one of those 4.
That touchdown pass that Nico threw, the 65-yarder, right. That is a number 1 pick in the draft touchdown throw. He rips the ball.
No question. He's all that like he was supposed to be. For all that money, he better be. But boy, Hayes, they're more than that. They are physical. Their defensive line is as good as any you will see. Their backs are good. They're tough. Their O-line, he has built a good team there in just a few years.
Give us an early thought on Georgia, Alabama on Saturday.
Well, I'm going to need one of 2 things. See if you can get this done for me. I'm going to need Keith Jackson to come back from the dead and to call it. Or if not, you got to get me Vern.
Yeah.
I know ESPN won't like that, but I got to have Vern. I can't wait to watch it. I think it'll be I think the 2 games of the year in college football are both SEC games. Georgia and Alabama, Georgia, Texas. So, boy, that's 7:30 on a Saturday night. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to watch it. It'll have a playoff feel to me already.
Georgia 2.5-point favorite
on the road.
Yeah, it's the first time that the Tide have been an underdog in their house. I think I saw since 2007,
which was Saban's first year.
Yes, exactly.
It's incredible, unbelievable. Yeah, I can't wait to watch that game either. Let's get it to Major League Baseball. The Braves open a critical series with the Mets in Atlanta.
Oh, man.
Starts tonight. The Braves are down 2 games for the final wild card berth.
JJ, the drama of it all.
Oh, they're not.
No, they're down 1 because the Diamondbacks lost.
Okay.
So there's a lot of moving parts. But yes, obviously you beat the Mets, you sweep the Mets, and you finish the season against the Royals, and you're in.
How about this is drama.
It is high
drama.
And of course,
high drama.
The Braves decided not to pitch Sale twice this week. I don't know why. I guess they're saving him for a win. I don't know. But yeah, it'll be a hell of a game. Hell of a three next nights for the Braves.
Oh, man. Who's
Schwellenbach, our rookie, is starting tonight, who's really freaking good.
I'm standing my ground on this. I said the Braves have been to the playoffs all along. I'm not backing off, JJ. You didn't come with me on that.
I still won't come with you. I mean, down 2 games, all the Mets really have to do is win 1, I feel. But it'll be tough, but it'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see how the Braves respond. How about Dodgers phenom Shohei Ohtani? We've been tracking this, him becoming baseball's first 50-50 guy. He wasn't done. Ohtani now has 53 home runs this season to go along with 55 stolen bases.
Well, let me tell you what happened. You probably don't know this. He was listening to the show the other day. Shohei was. They get it out there in Los Angeles. He's got the app, the FM and the AM app. But it was funny. We're talking about, can he get there? It's 40, 49, and 47, and he did it all in one day. That's the day he hit the 3 home runs.
That's right.
And had 2 steals.
And he hit the 3 and 2 that day. The day we were talking about it. He's the most skilled baseball player in the history of that great sport, which goes well over 150 years. He is the greatest. He is the most skilled baseball player of all time. I'll say it again. He is the most skilled baseball player of all time. Now, I'm still not saying best ahead of Ruth yet, but he's the most skilled.
Yeah, without a doubt. And we will go from the best player to the worst team possibly ever. The Chicago White Sox are 36 and 120 with a minus 320 run differential this year.
Isn't that so all they have
minus 320. Oh my!
So they've got to go 6-0 to avoid passing the 62 Mets. That's going to happen.
Yeah. By the way, they took the season series against the Braves this year.
Wow.
Think about that.
How about the fact the Pirates swept them 4-0? Just kidding. That's all we got.
But we have to finish baseball talk with Pirates news that's breaking.
Oh, what you got?
I have to give it to you right now. So
I know it, but I want to hear you say it.
Okay, our favorite player is Rowdy Tellez, who's a bigger guy, and he's had a pretty good year for them. So they decided to cut him today. He has 421 plate appearances. These cheapos with Pittsburgh cut him because if he had 4 more plate appearances, so basically played 1 more game, he gets an incentive $200,000 extra dollars.
Wow.
So they are really counting coins like that in Pittsburgh. That is crazy bad.
I'm so glad they did that because it tells you the story.
Oh yeah.
Let me tell you what he said again. He's got 421 at bats or plate appearances. At 425, a $200,000 bonus kicks in. They cut him with a week to go at 420. They cut him with a week to go. That's my team. It's $200,000. It's a Major League Baseball team, and they cut him over $200,000.
If you're a free agent, I mean, of course you want to go there after stuff like that.
Think about that. They cut Michael A. Taylor too. He's got a similar deal. But think about that for a second. Rowdy, 4 more at bats. They devoted him $200,000. He's been their first baseman all year long. With 6 to play, they cut him.
That's ridiculous.
I've
never heard of anything
baseball.
like that.
Yeah. So I read on the blog the other day, you got to fire the manager and the GM. Well, of course they're going to fire the manager and the GM. All he does is He hires them. He gives them no resources. 5 years later, he fires them. Of course, he's gonna. You know what? They're gonna bring in a new guy, and they're gonna wear the sharp sports coats, and they're gonna talk about how beautiful the park is and the history of and how they loved Clemente as a kid.
And Skeens.
And they're gonna they can't wait Skeens. You know what's gonna happen in 5 years? They're gonna fire him.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Skeens, by the way, finished the season with a 1.99 ERA.
11-2.
Awesome.
11-2, 1.99.
How many, off the top of your head, how many strikeouts?
That I don't know. But what I will tell you.
But he probably averaged over one
if they could
inning,
score
right?
at all.
167.
If they could.
And how many innings?
131.
If they could score at all, he'd be 16-2.
Yeah, well, that's right.
Between scoring and not closing out wins, he should be 16-2. Honestly, should be 16-2.
Unbelievable. Let's give you a local high school football note. Episcopal kicker Alexander Hilliard has made two 52-yard field goals this season. The Times Union's Clayton Freeman did a nice write-up on Hilliard. Fantastic local prospect. Shout out to my good friend Collins Cooper,
kicking coach,
who is Hilliard's kicking
coach. You go get him, Colin. Good for Colin.
Yeah,
Colin takes that seriously, and you know what? 252-yarders doesn't happen very often in high school.
Yeah, he's
good for Colin.
Yeah, he's really proud.
How about Colin's making news? How Colin's making headlines? That's good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a big deal for Colin. That'll change I think it's going to change his life.
Absolutely. The Honorable Collins Cooper gets a mention. Great work, and congratulations to Alexander and that Episcopal Special Teams unit. 252-yard field goals. That's pretty incredible at this level. And shout out to Clayton Freeman, who does such a great job covering high school sports around here. Let's get it to our pop culture moment of the day, JJ, because on this date back in 1964, this happened. The Munsters debuts. It lasted for 2 seasons with 70 episodes. I was surprised by
right?
that. I was surprised
Wow.
by that too. 2 seasons, 70 episodes, but found more success later in syndication.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I would have figured there was 200 Munsters.
No, it was in 64?
Is when it debuted. Today's the release date of the Munsters.
So 64 and 65, then I had to watch it in syndication because even I was too young to really. But who didn't love the Munsters?
That's great.
Who didn't love Eddie Munster, for crying out loud? I love the Munsters.
And they had the pet dragon under the stairs.
Yes.
Spot, I think.
I love the Munsters.
What was the thing that was just like a ball of hair that would run around?
That was Cousin It, but that's Adam's family.
Damn.
Yeah, you're messing up your horror comedy TV.
Love the Munster. Fred Gwynn, by the way.
Yeah.
Who many people might know him from My Cousin Vinny.
Yep.
Where he was fantastic.
Absolutely.
But is Herman Munster. He was the greatest.
Now, did the Munsters have the uncle, right?
They do. Grandpa Lewis. I think you're getting it mixed up again. Adam's family has Uncle Fester.
Right.
Yeah, but the Munsters have
Grandpa.
Yeah, Grandpa.
But Herman Munster was the greatest.
Oh, he was unbelievable, and obviously the wife was the bride of Frankenstein, and then you had Marilyn, who was just the regular.
She was normal.
Regular
A blonde
normal girl.
Right.
Yeah, and then you had Eddie, who was like the little wolf man.
Yeah.
That was a great show.
Who had the same hair as Billy Donovan for Billy's first 25 years as a coach.
No doubt about it. We will get you out today on our musical note because on this date, back in 1988, Bobby McFerrin goes to #1 on the Billboard charts with Don't Worry, Be Happy. With our football teams all in their current state, I thought this might be a good message for us all today.
Perfectly done, as a matter of fact.
Thank you.
I remember when this came out.
Yeah.
It was a fantastic song. Well done on headlines, as always. We've got one segment to go. We'll wrap the program on a Tuesday right after this.
Here's a little song I wrote. You might want to sing it note for note. Don't worry. Be happy.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update, brought to you by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
Major League Baseball heading into its final week of the regular season. The LA Dodgers continue to be the best bet to win this year's World Series. The Dodgers are plus 300 to capture the crown, but they haven't won the division yet. They lead San Diego by 3 games with 6 games remaining in the NL West. The Yankees are the best bet out of the American League at plus 425, the same odds as the Philadelphia Phillies, who on Monday captured the NL East for the first time since 2011. The Astros on top of the AL West are plus 850. Baltimore plus 1,000. This update brought to you by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1010 XL.
Are your toilets flushing slow? Shower drain starting to back up? Bad smells? These are all major signs that your septic tank needs to be pumped out. Call Duck Rooter to schedule today. The EPA recommends you get your septic tank pumped out every 3 years. Call now if it's due. 904-862-6769. Duck Rooter is Northeast Florida's only master septic contractor that is fully insured. See our Google reviews. Visit duckrooter.com. 904-862-6769.
Hey, sports fans, it's Hays Carlyon from MyBookie. Embrace the start of football season with MyBookie. Take advantage of their live betting, especially if a heavy favorite gets off to a slow start. And be sure to check out all their cool prop bets. If you haven't signed up, go to mybookie.ag and register for a free account. Use promo code 1010XL to get a double bonus. For a limited time, MyBookie will double your money on your first deposit. Let's take a look at some updated MyBookie lines. The Jaguars are a 6-point underdog at Houston. The over-under is 45.5 points. Georgia is a 2-point road favorite against Alabama, and the Noles a 5.5-point underdog at SMU. Sign up with that promo code 1010XL to claim your deposit bonus. Again, it is a double bonus. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie, and don't forget that promo code 1010XL.
I'm Holt Harrell with Harrell & Harrell. Choosing a law firm after an accident is an important decision. With so many messages, we know it can all sound the same. At Harrell & Harrell, we believe what sets us apart is our commitment to you. We'll help you find doctors to get you better, and we'll work hard to maximize any recovery. Visit our website and look at our reviews to see how we've helped people just like you make this important decision. Harrell & Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
Frank Frangie here to congratulate my friends at Big Chief Tire. For the 5th year in a row, Big Chief Tire was named the best tire center in Jacksonville for excellence in tire services. Big Chief Tire has served the Jacksonville community for over 60 years with quality tires, brakes, repairs, alignments, and more. Big Chief is known for fair prices and honest service, and they've built a reputation for treating customers like family. Big Chief offers reliable solutions to keep vehicles safe and running smoothly. Visit BigChiefService.com.
At Honda, we appreciate all the comparisons to other vehicles. And no matter how many times they compare their vehicles to a Honda, only a Honda is a Honda. Remember, value, quality, safety, there is no substitute. Visit your local Honda dealer now and experience the difference.
This is Tony Baselli, Pro Football Hall of Famer. I was known for protecting our quarterback. These days, I'm extending that protection to a different arena, your home. I have partnered with Heritage Roofing of North Florida, your premier local roofers with over 25 years of experience. Heritage is your go-to roofer for hurricane preparation with same-day inspections and estimates. They also work with all insurance companies. Let Heritage Roofing of North Florida safeguard your home and family. Visit heritagenfl.com for your free estimate today.
State license CCC 1335410.
There's something special about football under the Friday Night Lights.
Clear eyes, full hearts.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Friday Night Lights.
Presented by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
Guys, feeling deflated in the bedroom? ED, low T, no energy? If your stuff is broken, call 904-STROKEN or 904stroken.com. No shots, and the first treatment now free. Fix your ED at 904stroken.com.
Hello,
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
I'm Taylor Rose with our Remedy Staffing Westside office off of Normandy Boulevard. We are helping great people find great jobs. Remedy has helped some of the best employers in Jacksonville find talented job seekers like you for over 25 years. Our current job openings range from entry-level distribution center pickers to equipment operators. Apply today at remedygoodjobs.com. Don't wait. Apply at remedygoodjobs.com now.
Attention veterans, the Fed has done it. They've lowered interest rates, the moment we've all been waiting for. And at Loan Pronto, they've lowered mortgage rates along with it. It's Prosser here for my friends at Loan Pronto. Listen, if you're a veteran with a current mortgage rate over 6%, Loan Pronto can do a streamlined refi, lowering your monthly payment with no income verification and no appraisal. Veterans can now access up to 100% of their home's equity and turn that into cash. You can get 50, 75, even 100 grand or more with no junk fees and no hassle with an APR in the low fives. So you can pay off all those credit cards, personal loans, and car loans. Veterans typically cut their monthly payments by $850. At Loan Pronto, they respect what you've done for our country, and we show it. Call now for a free rate quote with no credit pull. 904-999-1508. That's 904-999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
The Jaguars have not played complimentary football all season, which is one of the big reasons they now sit at 0-3. The offense can't keep the defense off the field, which has left the defense in charge of stopping long drives and explosive plays during a majority of the game, which they have not been able to do, especially last night. Here's Christian Kirk on how that brand of football has affected the scoreboard.
I think when you come out, they go down, score, offense goes out there, we go 3 and out, and then, they turn around and score again. You have to obviously keep the clock in mind, but you got to get something going quickly, and that's kind of what happened to us tonight. We're just not playing complimentary football, and those are things we have to do, especially against good football teams like that.
I'm Max Fink with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Doors, please. Time now for the Sky Life Elite Take Flight Moment of the Week. Sky Life Elite, North Florida's premier private air charter.
3rd down and 7. This one is launched from McLaurin. He's got it. Touchdown! Touchdown, Terry McLaurin. 27 yards. They needed 7. They got 27, and here's the end of it. Right foot, knee down, and the catch. That will count.
That was Joe Buck on ESPN. Great call. And what a player Jaden Daniels is. That was 3rd and 7 with 2 minutes and 10 seconds to play on the road against Cincinnati. And Daniels to McLaurin, just an incredible throw. He's got pressure right in his face. Puts Washington up 38-26. They go on to beat the Bengals, who are 0-3 as well. But what an incredible performance by Jaden Daniels. He was 21-23 on the night. 254 yards, 2 touchdowns through the air. He ran for 1. Perfect Sky Life moment of the week. Again, give our friends at Sky Life Elite a call at 490-9332. You can also find them at flyskylife.com, North Florida's premier private air charter.
What a player he's going to be. I mean, there's a lot of people want to make the comparison because C.J. Stroud comes into the league one year and Jaden Daniels the next, but C.J. doesn't run like Jaden does. C.J. Stroud moves around a little bit, but he's a drop-back passer. Jaden Daniels can go. I mean, Well, what a good player he's going to be in the league. So congratulations to him. And are the Commanders going to be pretty good?
I think so. I mean, I think they're right in the mix, I think, for a wild card berth when you get to the end of this thing, because as long as he stays healthy, I mean, he's incredible. I mean, from what we've seen so far, and obviously you knew his mobility would be a real issue for NFL defenses, but boy, he can really diagnose defenses, and he throws a beautiful deep ball.
This show's been 99% Jaguars, as you would imagine. Plus, you had FSU and Florida notes in the headlines. What did you think of the Gator win? What was you watched? What did you take from it?
I mean, the offense. I mean, obviously Mississippi State is atrocious. Again, what all you need to know is that they opened up as a 41.5-point underdog at Texas this week.
41.5 in a conference game.
Yeah, so obviously a really, really bad football team. Even for Mississippi State standards, this is a bad team for them. But yeah, I mean, look, if you're the Gators right now, I mean, I think you take any win you can get. And hope during a bye that you can correct some things defensively. But you had to love how the quarterbacks played. I mean, certainly Mississippi State, blew some coverages, but Graham Mertz looked fantastic. DJ Lagway led 2 90-yard plus drives, which I thought showed a lot of poise, because some of those drives the game was still in doubt. It wasn't like that was garbage. Picked up a big third down with his legs when they were backed up on about a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. And, and I think Florida's got some good backs. I agree with you. I think it's time to, maybe open that up a little bit more and not have Montrell Johnson be the dominant player there. So, yeah, I mean, I thought a good amount, lots to like offensively. Defensively, Florida really has got to take this bye week and find something that can give the opponent a semblance of resistance.
They get UCF. And a week from Saturday, they're favored. They're a 2-point favorite in that game. It's a night game. It's a 7:45, so it's a real night game. Under the lights in the swamp. UCF will be coming off a game with Colorado. Don't know how physical it'll be, but
UCF was off this week.
Yeah, so UCF will be coming off a game with Colorado while Florida's off. So Florida certainly could win. They're favored. If the Gators win that game and get to 3-2, does that change your mind of thinking that Billy Napier might save his job, or are you convinced he's gone either way?
I'm convinced he's gone either way. I just don't think the university is going to entrust him with another football team. So I think it's over. But I will say, I mean, now it's sort of a question of when will it happen. The next bye is October 20th after the home game against Kentucky. So you'd be 7 games in, 5 games left. So I think if he goes 1-2 in the next 3, which would be, home against UCF, at Tennessee, which they have no chance, and then home against Kentucky, if he goes 2-1 in those 3,
yeah, what if he goes 2-1?
Then I think he's going to get to the end of the year, and then I think they'll fire him after the Florida State game. Yeah. And you've been making this comparison, really dating all the way back in the summer, and about Napier lining up with Zook's final year, and I've watched FSU and they got to win, but I've now watched them for 4 games. I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to fire Napier at the end of the regular season. I would not be surprised with Mertz and Lagway if they go into Tallahassee and beat Florida State, and Billy Napier gets the Ron Zook send-off of winning his, what everybody will know is his final game. I could absolutely see that happening. The way the two clubs are playing right now, because Florida at least has something on offense. Florida State has really very little on offense. They do have their defense is coming around, but
defense is very good.
Yeah.
Very good. So, the Florida offense and the FSU defense would be a good team.
Right.
So, I'll say this. If they beat UCF, and I'm not sure I'm going to pick them to beat UCF, but if they beat UCF.
I will not pick them to beat UCF.
That gets them to 3-2. Obviously, they're going to lose at Tennessee, 3-3. If they beat Kentucky and go to 4-3, I would not be shocked. Let me rephrase that. I would only be sort of shocked if he keeps his job. Because he's got to find 2 more wins. Now, where are those wins coming from? But let's say, just for the sake of the discussion, he beats LSU at home game, and to your point, wins that last one at Tallahassee, 6-6. I will tell you, I don't think Scott Strickland wants to fire him at 6-6. 5-7, 4-8. He's got to fire him. particularly because of the way it's gone. But I think he's still going to get fired. And I think they're going to do everything they can to hire Lane Kiffin as their new coach. Did you see Lane Kiffin? By the way, you got to see his TikTok thing with the daughter.
I need to go.
It's freaking hilarious.
I need to go.
He is so funny. He's deadpan. But I think they're going to fire him either way. But I think the UCF game's a big one for that. Because if he loses that game, then that's it. Even if he falls into a win against Kentucky, he's probably not getting any more. But if he beats UCF and gets to 3-2, and then splits Tennessee and Kentucky, gets to 4-3. I know Scott Strickland doesn't want to fire a coach who got to 4-3 in his first 7 games. I know he doesn't. So he'd have to find 2 more wins, and FSU is beatable. FSU is about like Florida. Either team could win that. If they played today, I'd pick FSU because of that defense, because it's there. But
I'd pick Florida.
Yeah, would you if they played today?
Yeah.
So the point is, I think if he gets to 6 wins, they may not fire him. I'm not convinced he's fired with 6 wins. I don't know if he can get there, but I am not convinced they fire him with 6 wins. I'm just not.
I think they're going to have to because the Tennessee game is going to be a 40-point loss.
Well, that's the thing. There's some bloodbaths along the way.
The Georgia game is going to be a whatever Kirby wants it to be loss. At Texas is going to be whatever Sark wants it to be.
Yeah.
It's just going to be hard to defend a coach in his 3rd year just not even being remotely competitive with multiple teams on your schedule. So, that's why I think honestly, I think by midway through the 3rd quarter of the Miami game, I think the die was cast and he was getting fired. It was just going to be, when does it actually happen? But I will say this to Napier's credit, if he can go 2-1 in the next 3, because I don't think at that point it would make sense to fire him 7 games in if he's 4-3. With 5 games left, I would let him finish the year, which at least he would have the dignity of being able to say that he was able to, finish the year up.
Let's see where we've been on this program today.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
All right, we have been mostly over the Jaguars today. I told you what I would do. I would make a few changes personnel-wise to make you a more physical football team. That's what I think is the most significant thing. That's the biggest change. Hays would make a change with the head coach. I would not. I would make a change with some personnel. I'd get more physical. I may play Tank Bigsby more. I'd play some of the young physical offensive linemen and the young defensive offensive linemen young defensive linemen a bit more as well. I did point out that although Trevor struggled, a lot of those guys drafted 1st overall or 2nd overall as quarterbacks, Darnold, Mayfield, Winston, Mariota, Trubisky, Zach Wilson, Bryce Young, really have struggled. Many on their 3rd, 4th, 5th teams. It's just a tough thing to do. I think Trevor was going to wind up bouncing back. And in headlines, we talked about the Knowles and the Gators and where that whole thing's headed. All right, tomorrow's middle of the week.
It's hard to believe.
Do we have a storm coming? Is it going to rain? Is it raining?
Batten down the hatches.
It might. Hopefully, our friends out west will be okay because it does look like it's going to be major whenever it hits.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're going to get much.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
I was worried that Alabama, Georgia something was going to happen, but apparently it's going to hit us more, which I am glad. I'll take it. I'll fall on the sword for that game.
And I think before that, I think it's going to hit us Thursday,
correct,
Friday.
Yeah.
We fly out. I know we fly to Houston coming up on Saturday. All right, let's say hello to Rick Ballou.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Injury Care Centers. Discover BioTarget Regenerative Therapy, a safer drug-free solution for lasting pain relief. Visit GoBioTarget.com.
Are you copying Dave Campos' notes?
I was going to say, I sit next to Campo in the press box.
Yeah.
I haven't copied so much as I do off Campo since maybe my sophomore year in biology.
I got it.
I'm sitting next to him, with the eyes sweaty. It's unbelievable how he does things mathematically, grading every play.
How shocked were you? You were there. For people that don't know, Rick covered the game for 1010XL, so he was in Buffalo,
right?
As I was. How shocked were you that it went that bad?
Completely. I mean, completely. I talked with Hays before on the pregame, and I thought Buffalo would win, but I thought it'd be a touchdown victory. I thought it'd be a 24-17 game. Buffalo's a really good football team. It's a tough place to play. But I thought Jacksonville would show up. I mean, you could tell from that 10-play drive, it took almost 6 minutes off the clock, and then you go 3 and out, and it's just like, wait a minute, what's happening? And I think that's the most frustrating part of all of this is can't put my finger on exactly what's wrong. There's something that's so blatantly obvious, and I can't see it. And that's what's frustrating.
I told Hays that if it was me, I think I can see it. At least I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Rick, they're not physical.
Yeah.
They're getting blocked, and they're not blocking. I think in my mind, they don't open up holes, but there's gaping holes when the other team runs it. They don't get to the passer, but Trevor's harassed. I think the physicality of the lines of scrimmage are the biggest Achilles heel of this football team. Agree or disagree?
They allowed 21 pressures last night. 21.
Yeah.
9 quarterback hits.
That to me, you said it way better than I did because you've got the numbers to back it up.
Yep.
The offensive and defensive lines are, in my opinion, by far the problem with the football team.
And we all
21 pressures.
Yeah, we all said it. We all kind of expected problems with the offensive line. I've been hollering about that for half a decade. I am surprised by the defense. Devon Hamilton, I waste so much airtime bragging about him during camp. Guy got 21 snaps last night.
Yeah, he's
Tyler Lacey and Ledbetter are getting more snaps. Mason Smith, they're getting more snaps than Devon Hamilton.
Yeah, Devon's not playing well.
No?
He's just not playing very well. So what's doing? A lot
We
of
got
Jaguars
all that reaction from Buffalo.
All right, Rick Ballou was there covering it in Buffalo, so he'll have a lot to talk about the Jags and a whole lot more. We'll be back tomorrow, same bad time, same bad channel. For Hays and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.